Oh my goodness, we are back. Welcome to the ReUp. My name is Jason Delgado. This is the Orsini Studios. It is a Thursday, about to be a Friday. Let's get into it. It's been too long. I know, it is my fault. But I've been putting out all these things and going to all these places and having all this fun. So it's been tough to sit down and have a chat with everyone here about something cool and fun, because you're in the middle of doing cool and fun things. But anyway, welcome back. Like I said, this is the Orsini Studios, the bare and somewhat untidy Orsini Studios. But I am rocking the little unsponsored Timberland hoodie. And it is chilly out here in Los Angeles, California, but welcome to the ReUp. I don't really have a topic once again. We're just going to kind of ramble and get into a little bit. There is going to be a break in the support episode this week, as I could not get a support out in time. But we will be returning in a week with a new episode of support. As always, support. Also, not visible here, but ReUp gear is available for the holiday shopping season. Here's some advertising winners. and yeah, now that that's all out of the way, welcome. Let's get into it a little bit. It's been a lot on the road, man. A lot of on the road stuff. Had a couple really cool gigs. Had a great experience with a group called Therapeutic Noise. They're I guess, a group that produces comedy shows down in Long Beach, California, lovely Long Beach, and they put together a little whammy for the little show for the veterans, and it was wonderful. We got a nice road trip down with a fellow comedian, and they had an amazing photographer, took amazing photos. You boys, that suit's been paying off, man. That $160 Target suit's got more legs than anything. I've gotten more out of that suit than any other product I've ever purchased. But no, it's been great. Got to go and wear the suit again, got some cool pictures, and got paid. Love that. Love getting paid, because normally, just for those who are, who don't know sort of how it works, there isn't a lot of money in this yet. So most of the time you're going and just doing the show for a drink ticket, or just, maybe some $20, $25 here or there. But to get paid and a nice amount of money or whatever, anything over $20 is amazing. And then they fed us dinner and they got us drinks. It was wonderful. I got to do my 10 minutes. It was fun. People laughed, and it was great to do a little show in front of, or rather a big show. It was almost 200 people. But to do a show like that in front of a group of people who you normally don't do, because it was, older people, veterans, and, maybe people in their 60s, 50s, even 70s. So it was not the normal sort of crowd that you would see at a comedy club. They're just there to kind of have a good time. And it was fun. It was fun. Material that I thought would work didn't work. I have a I have a joke where I talk about going to the doctor and how I went and got a physical done by a real doctor this time. They're the worst. But then I talk about how everything's very modern. They take my temperature and stuff. But then when they go to weigh me, it's this abacus, and it's this big metal clanks, clank, 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 clank. Step on the scale, don't move the plates. Nothing. Oh my God! I thought you common thread would be doctor visits. Nothing. And then I did a joke about passwords, where I talk about how they're complicated. You gotta have all these things, and 8 to 14 characters, one number, nothing. And then I go, you gotta make me learn this whole algorithm just to get into my parents' Netflix account. And I was like, moochers. We got some parents of moochers here. That's some moocher parents. I didn't say that, but I should have. But I wasn't brave enough. But I was like, that one works for the crowd. Clearly, mooching off the parents struck a chord with the crowd. And it was fun. It was really, really fun. And they were great, man. They laughed at stuff that, I was trying to cater to them, and they were like, no, we wanna have fun. We wanna do stuff that's like, Dean Del Rey crushed, and he did stuff like smoking pot and stuff, and it was great. It was great. It was a great show to be a part of, and I kind of be part of that group. Super awesome. And Long Beach, I never leave the 5 square mile area, so it was good to take a little road trip. Um, and then after that, I did a really, really rough show. Hopefully they won't put two and two together, because I don't want to call anybody out, because it's no one's fault. Everybody's just doing their best to try and make the best show possible. But I did a show that was very tough. It was funny, but it was tough. So we'll break that one down. The highs and the lows, as they say, ebbs and flows on the way to stardom. I did a show that was in the lobby of an apartment building. And initially when I heard it, I was like, but then when you see the apartment building, it's like a fancy schmancy, big, nice ceilings, and there's like couches and stuff, and there's a little area. And like it's right like attached to a bar, so people kind of come in and mingle. And so I was like, oh, okay, that seems like fun. And I was like, experience, and it's a show, if you get a gig, take a gig, right? So I go, and I show up at the gig, and they don't have the chair set up, so I help the guy set up the chairs. We set them up, and the people are there, and he's like, yeah, no cursing. That was the other thing. Or no, it has to be clean humor, because it's an apartment building, people come in, and So I was like, cool, I work clean anyway, so I was fine. And so we're there, and people are kind of mingling in. A woman shows up with her little Pomeranian, and then we have another gentleman, an older guy, who's kind of like a little bit out of it. He sits right up front. This older woman sits kind of up front. Then we had a couple of other people. And it was like an odd mix of people, but it was like, people you meet in an apartment complex. Exactly. But it was, they were all there in the lobby. And they started the show. And I got to go on like third. And the first woman who went up did a whole thing about, banging her boyfriend in real dirty ways. About sucking that and doing that and eating that. I was like, well, there goes the clean, man. There goes the clean bill out the window. I don't got anything like this. So I just stayed in the pocket. But so I go up there, and it's no one kind of really cares, but we're doing our best. But the comedian before me was like, well, this was terrible. I wasn't riding a wave of anything at that point. So your boy goes up, and like, hey, how's everybody doing? And the dog starts barking. He gets it. That dude. And then I was like, the dog starts barking again. I was like, he gets it. He's cool. Yeah. So then I start to lower the voice and notice that the dog doesn't bark when I don't say a joke, like at a certain volume. And so I start to kind of do the jokes like this. So yeah, malls. I don't have a joke like that, but... And I'm doing the joke, and I look over, and a woman is falling asleep right in the front. Just dead asleep. Right in the front row. And I was like, so the comedy has to be done between the range of making sure the woman doesn't fall asleep or exciting the dog, right in the middle. And so I plow through. I let the woman sleep. I don't say anything. I get through the 10, and it was fine. And I was like, hey, everybody have a good night. Thank you so much. I leave. The dog tries to bite me. He goes, oh, he's very friendly. I'm like, he looks it. And so then I, stay for one more set to watch one more person go, and I just immediately bounce. And then I had to walk like a mile to my car. On the walk back, I was like, man, that was a tough set. And normally, you don't care, because you're like, hey, this is the struggle, you're doing your thing. But it was like a Sunday night. It was rainy. I was watching football, and I went to my friend's house, and his his lovely girlfriend made a tomato soup and grilled cheese, and we're watching football, and the half had to leave to go do the show. I think it was just that idea of like, hey man, what I gave up to do this. But I did have a very funny story. But it was one of those moments that made me go, like, hey, do you really want it? That's true. That's true. Because I love it. I love doing this, and I love kind of doing stand-up and the writing and the funny. But it is interesting to see where it hits, where the part hits where it goes. You sure about this? Because it's not the money, because being broke is being broke. Everybody's broke. And it's not the sort of the ego where it's like, I need an audience to laugh. Like I find, some comedians require that, and they kind of get the audience like, hey, how come you're not laughing? That's slippery slope sometimes. But it's when you get one of these like shows where you don't quite know what to do. You know what I mean? Like there are people, there, and they want to laugh, but there's so many circumstances. Like people are checking, walking in and doing laundry, and other people are just walking to go to the bathroom, and people are falling asleep, and dogs are barking, and you just think like, man, I'm just on an island right now. I'm on an island, bro, talking to the air. And it made me think. It was like, it could be a lot of this, bro. There could be a lot of this. So, you got to think about that. And immediately right after, it was like, nope, I'm good. But it was an interesting dip. And I had to recognize it because it did bring up the question. The question came up in my head. And I was like, bro, this is rough. And I was like, I haven't even really begun yet. And honestly, like, I haven't really begun yet. Like, I've had crummy gigs, but I haven't had crummy gigs in, like, Montana. Like, if I ever have a crummy gig in Montana, that'll be something. But, it's like one of these things where I just thought, like, why did you doubt yourself? Why did you do that? And I think when I really thought about it, it came down to, I just want to be appreciated. And I really wanted to be appreciated. I like when I go, I work hard to put these jokes in, ego. But still, you work hard to put these things together. And, you people are showing up, and sometimes you feel like, no, like, you don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. But I do want to be here. Like, I do want to be there. But I feel like sometimes you get a reception like they don't want to be there. Somebody conned them into this. And you just got to plow through. And that's tough. And it makes you think like, you have to kind of, made me like kind of realize that I have to sort of self-appreciate more and be like, don't be so beholden to some crowd for the appreciation. Like you should be appreciative of the fact that you even get to get up there and do the damn thing. And that's where the appreciation should come from. It shouldn't come from them staying awake. Let's go. But or keeping their dog at the apartment. And you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. It comes down to you have to just appreciate the opportunity. And that's what it within seconds it just came back, and it came down to that. That's like releasing ego. I mean, that's a little ego just because like, oh, pay attention. But like, putting in hours of work, driving in the rain, you think, wish it was a little better. But it was nice to kind of get that hip check and be like, hey man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. You self-appreciate and appreciate yourself and appreciate the opportunity that you have to do this thing, and that you have jokes and that the jokes come. Appreciate the fact that the jokes come because they do. It was nice because this week I don't have a episode of the support because I've just been writing, just trying to write new stuff, and I got like a nice little 5-minute chunk of new stuff. But to do that, it takes so much mulling. It's so much like sort of like staring at the air, and so you got to kind of have faith that it's gonna come together. And so I think that when it comes together and it snaps in, and I go like, oh man, there it is, and you get it down. That's the appreciation. That's what I appreciate. Like, oh man, because a lot of times it is writing, but it's a lot of it's a mumbo jumbo, but it's a lot of listening. It's just a lot of listening to the air. Really, it's just like you You go, oh, that's funny. And, they're like, it just comes out of the air sometimes. And I think that to be able to listen is an important thing, and I'm appreciative for that. I'm very appreciative for that because, you know, it still comes. It still comes. And it's great because I hadn't written a joke in a while, like a new solid bagunga in a minute. I've been kind of rocking old bagungas or rewriting old stuff. But just rewriting old jokes and stuff like that. But this is brand new chunks. And so I was like, nice. I haven't wrote brand new chunks in a while, but, it takes time. It takes time and it takes effort. And a lot of that effort isn't like, and you're staring at paper. A lot of it's just kind of listening and be open. And so I'm appreciative for that. I'm appreciative for that opportunity to have that just sort of come to me sometimes. And we hope it comes to me more. Because, yeah, I'm trying to get that hour done, though. But, in this case, this is about our time. This is a good little re-up session. This was fun. It was a little story time, a little ramble time, but it was fun, I thought. Thank you for watching and for joining me once again here at the Orsini Studios. I'm hoping to have more of these. I'm hoping to have like a better format and kind of more planned things, maybe like reviews of things. I don't know. I just feel like rambling and talking could sometimes get a little bit much, but hey, it's good to chronicle the journey, as they say. But hey, thank you for joining me. My name is Jason Delgado. We hope to see you again on the re-up soon. One